Now you guys know that we rock with a lot of hybrid racing parts on this whole build, from the fuel system to the AC system, some under dash conversion harnesses, the pressure regulator, everything hybrid makes. We wanted to make sure that we had all the good parts on this car. So we have a bunch of their goodies. We're also going to be using their power steering kit, and that has basically all the hardware, lines, fittings, everything you need to run a Type S style power steering pump onto your K-swap chassis. Now the lines are pretty easy to use. The reservoir itself can be mounted in several different locations, and I already opened this so we could get kind of familiar with it before we dive into it. But this, they recommend mounting somewhere in the passenger side if you don't have ABS or if you don't have AC. Now, since we have both of those things, their kit also does provide extra hose, so you're able to run it on the other side. So right there on the driver's side, we're gonna be able to use this bracket that they include just to go into one of the threaded locations on the chassis right there. And those lines that I'm talking about is a nice variety of different ones. So right here we have the high pressure section of the power steering side. This goes to the rack, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. This section right here goes to their own hybrid racing fitting, which will be this nice billet piece right here. Has an ORB fitting on this section that goes to that threaded AN line right there. And then this right here has an integrated O-ring that goes in its OEM spot to the top of the Type S oil pump. And it's a really, really nice machine part. I'm not gonna press it in right now because we need to add a little grease to that O-ring, but you can see there is a recess right there for its own hardware. The hardware that they send with the kit would be this hex key style of hardware that literally just sits right in that recess, and it has a really, really sleek look. Look how nice that looks. Obviously it comes with two of them. And then that pretty much sums up the high pressure side. For the other side of the system, you have this nice small hose, but very long. This hose right here goes connected to this small nipple on the power steering kit. And then that gets routed to something that I already mocked up in place just to try to get a feel of where I want it. An actual oil cooler, and you can see that right there. The lines are disconnected. And I think I'm gonna set it somewhere in the front of the condenser, but that is to cool your power steering fluid. Now, it doesn't create a whole bunch of heat like other things like coolant systems, but it still does benefit from cooling down a little bit. So we're gonna be installing that probably in that location. You have these AN adapter fittings that go onto the rack itself, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And then also, we have this giant hose with the associated clamps for the whole kit. And that really, really big hose is going to feed fluid down to this giant nipple on the bottom of the reservoir, and it's gonna come back to that OEM nipple on the top of the pump. There's a couple different ways to route this. Like I said, I really like this kit because it comes with so much hose, so much length, and you can really do it to the style that you want. I'm gonna show you exactly how I mount it up, because the way that I'm gonna do it, I think is gonna be a lot cleaner than some of the other versions I've seen, and it'll be easily accessible. I've seen some people tuck it in the bumper behind the headlights and the turn signal lights, which is fine. It gives it that tucked look, and it makes it really, really nice if you don't want it in the engine bay. But I'm the type of guy that's building this car. My wife and I, we want this to be a very accessible, very OEM style, easy to work on car. So we're gonna try to keep everything wrapped up in the engine bay. That way it's accessible if we wanna check things, as well as do maintenance on it. So this is kind of a hard angle. We're gonna be installing this AN power steering rack adapter to the bottom of the rack, and it's kind of a tough spot to film. I do apologize, but that's gonna go ahead and get placed in right here. And it does have a little O-ring as well as a little washer. You wanna make sure that both of those are lubricated with a light grease. That way it doesn't get busted. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten this. I think it's a 19 millimeter. I'm using an open adjustable wrench right now. And that right there gets tightened to the bottom port of the high pressure system. Give you a little zoom right there. So we just put that bottom AN fitting. I'll cover the one we didn't put on right there. That's that fitting that we just installed. That nipple style fitting is what's going to connect to the smaller hoses, but that little adapter is what's going to connect to that. So this 90-degree angle is going to connect to that rack part, and then this 45-degree angle is what's going to connect to that top section right here. We're installing this other fitting right there that goes on the top of the pump. Now for this, you always want to make sure to lubricate the O-ring that's getting pressed in with some type of light grease. You don't want anything too heavy on buildup, but strong enough for it to actually hold onto the O-ring. And that can help with the installation of it, as well as when you take it apart in the future, if you take it apart. That way it's not all dry and it's not as prone to cracking. With O-rings, there's a lot of upkeep that needs to happen. It's a very, very simple system to use, but you should be careful when installing an O-ring because of those reasons. This high pressure hose, gonna go ahead and thread on there. I'm not gonna crank it down all the way. I'm just doing it by finger and moving this hose so I can locate, because once we get it attached on the other side, that's when we're fully gonna crank down on it. I think eventually we'll do like the ABS delete on this car, just to make it a lot cleaner. All these brake lines can basically get defeated at that point, and we won't have to worry about all this stuff in the way. It'll look a lot nicer. So we've got that line now connected to the power steering. That completes one section of the power steering assembly. Next, we have this cooler. Just went ahead and put the two hose fitting clamps as well as the hoses onto this little cooler. Now, if you're questioning why you need this, and in some OEM applications you might not see it, you might recognize a long tube going in front of the car and actually cooling it without a fin system. That in itself is meant to cool because of air hitting the tubing. In this case, it's just a little bit more efficient and has tubing on there to increase the surface area and, fins, increase the surface area and have more cooling ability. More air touches more areas, and then you have this whole little section that works as a cooler. Very, very simplified version of even how a radiator works or a condenser. So there's a little tech tip for the day. This is gonna go in the front section, but I wanted to run all the hoses and have it ready to loom in front of the condenser and then over towards that driver's side chassis section. And like I said, I'm gonna just put that up real quick. So I have it sitting right there, and that's just loosely mounted. It does include these little zip tie type little mounts, and it has basically something that goes through the fins on whatever you're attaching it to, in this case, the condenser, and then these little pads that then attach to that front section you cut down the side. Just two of those. It's a very, very light cooler, so it's gonna be very, very easy to mount. Then we have these two hoses that come off from that section. I just attached these a minute ago and showed you guys. There's gonna be one on top, and I'm gonna put this to the reservoir, and this bottom section is going to go to that nipple on the rack. So that top section right there, and we basically just need to cut it down to size. You can route this very, very close on the chassis and even do it a little bit under there, make it like a real tucked look. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna experiment a couple layouts right now and see what I decide to do, but basically just run it however it's gonna be out of the way of the axle, obviously. Make sure it doesn't run into anything like the shift cables, and make sure that it's not gonna get pinched anywhere. Keep in mind that the engine will tilt backwards when you're accelerating, because that's the nature of what engines do, especially with poly mounts instead of solid insert mounts. So we'll go ahead and cut this to length, attach that cooler to the condenser, and then I will start mocking up the length for the other line that goes right there, as well as this long section, big hose that goes, like I said, from this line, have it routed in front of the condenser, back over there. I gotta tell you, these hoses ended up being a lot more difficult to slip on than I anticipated. That's not a bad thing. That just means that it's a very, very nice, tight interference fit. Plus the hose clamp will never have a leak, at least on this section, because of how effective that hose is to that system. Now, I went ahead and ran all this hoses and cooler to the front like I already mentioned I would, and it's actually pretty good. I did run it kind of the ghetto way, just right over the transmission on the top right there. I didn't want to lift the car tonight, but there is enough slack right there. In worst case scenario, I have more hose that I can switch it out if I want to run it towards the frame rail in the future. Actually, I don't think I left enough slack. If I want to run it, I'll just get another hose. But everything is laid out in an OEM sense, in the way of there's a cooler in the front, there's a reservoir in one section, they have the high pressure hose hooked up with AN fitting, so that's even a plus. And we have everything buttoned up. I went ahead and also made these little tie downs for the radiator. These are just OEM brackets from Honda, or Acura in this case, reused for the K-Series. This is just an OEM K-Series RSX radiator with TXX hose in the top, and then a modified one that I've showed you guys in past videos for the bottom. And this fits very, very well. All I did was drilled the hole right there, used the riv nut tool. Shane, this is yours. You let me borrow it back for sick week, I think. And you need to come and pick this up, or I'll bring it up to you next time I see it. Or I'll bring it up to you next time that I see you up there in Daytona. But yeah, this is pretty much done. I put 2 rib nuts on the section right here in the radiator core support, and it mounts like OEM. Very, very simple way to do this. I don't know why people overthink this a lot of times. But yeah, power steering system is completely installed from side to side and to the rack. Everything should be perfect to actually start putting fluid in it. And then once the car starts, we can have it bled and whatnot. There is a procedure online, and if you guys go to Hybrid Racing's website, they'll tell you instructionally how to do it up in the air, turning the wheels side by side as the car idles, letting all the bubbles exit the system. But that pretty much sums up this install for today. We are taking somewhat of a break on the race car just so we can finish up the K-Swap street car and make it back to a lot more cars and coffees and street stuff. The race car is going to be a little bit more of track-oriented stuff in the future. We still have it registered and insured, but I think for stuff moving forward, we're going to try track orientation, and a lot of that comes with different preparations of what we want to do to the engine as well as other things around it. So that car is going to sit for a little bit, not long, maybe a month or two, as we finish this car, as we get it all buttoned up, put all my time and effort into it, get my wife back in the garage so that she can continue to learn, do some stuff on the car as well, and be able to immerse herself more into the car community. We should be getting it tuned within maybe the next couple weeks, so we're excited to see what this stock K24 does with all the bolt-on goodies and amenities that it has, and we're really excited to see where this journey takes us. If you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe and notification bell. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.